Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now in today's video we've got the new update to cover. Now if you want to check out the notes, you can just go to this notice page, hit the news tab, and then it'll be the most recent one in the news tab, and you can check out all the patch notes. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to Commodores for sending me a couple of awesome hats in the mail. I got those yesterday and they're absolutely awesome. Really well made hats too, with all the Ring of Heroes like logos and all that sort of stuff, so it's awesome. But yeah, into this update, there's a few things to cover. There's a few really good things, a few not so good things, and so we'll just sort of go through everything, and I'll just sort of work through the patch notes and then cover those things as we go. So the first thing is the Soul Stone drop rates, and this is one of those ones that's mixed between good and bad. So the first one is modified the drop rate of Soul Stones in normal stages. Now I've done a bit of testing. It seems like it's been a nerf to the drop rates. I can't confirm it because it's only a small sample size, but I'm getting a lot of zeros and ones when I farm on normal. I've just been doing some normal farming for Boomer. I might just go back to hard to get more reliable shards. I haven't tested the hard drop rates or the easy drop rates either, but the fact that they said modified the drop rate of Soul Stones in normal stages, but when later on they say increase the quantity of Soul Stones dropped in boss stages, sounds to me like if they're going to say increase, it means they'll increase. If they say anything else, it means they'll reduce. But haven't tested enough. I did have a run where I got 7 on normal, 7 Soul Stones on a 10 times normal run. But besides that, it's been mainly 0 to 3 the whole time. And yeah, it just seems a lot lower than what it used to be, but once again, can't confirm. The next one is change the type of Soul Stone dropped in normal stages. So you'll have to have a look through this and just basically see all the different stones you can get in normal stages. Like now you can get Crusher, we could never get him before. There's a lot of changes, like Kaboom's over here. You can now get Gilgrunt, who you couldn't before. Zook as well. So there is a lot of changes throughout the drops, so make sure you check and see what you can get. But the cool thing is there's a lot more 3-stars that you can now farm through the normal stages, who were previously only available on the hard stages, like the Ninjini, you've got Crypt King as well, Spyro. They were all, I'm pretty sure, only available on the hard stages. So make sure you check out and see if there's any units that you want to build that are available in those now. I think it's a really nice change that you can get some of these other units. There's a few things I'm disappointed about. The next unit I was actually going to build was going to be Chill to try and make a reliable B9 team, and now you can only get him from the boss stage of Scenario 2, which kind of hurts, but you know, you take the good with the bad. So the other thing that's gone is Flashwing is gone, so you can't farm Flashwing anymore, and Light Jetpack's no longer from hard on level 10, but no one could really do that anyway, so that's not a big change. Increase this. Here's the big one. Increase the quantity of Soul Stones dropped on boss stages. Now this is really big because what happens now is on easy and normal, boss stages will give you 2 shards per run, and on hard mode they'll give you 3 shards per run. So for any boss on easy and normal, you're getting 6 per day, and on hard you're getting 9 per day, which is actually massive. So it's more important now than ever to make sure you get these daily farms done. Yes, they cost a lot of energy, but the reward, like the shards per energy of doing this, is way better than anything else. And an awesome thing, you can go through, check all the bosses, but they've got new monsters in bosses for rewards, and like this one, stage 2 hard mode, which is one of the easier hard modes to get to, drops Freeze Blade, and he's an awesome Nat 4 that I really want to build. So yeah, once again, just check through them all and see what units you can get, but like the extra Soul Stones that you can get per day from that is huge now. So like some of the hard modes I could only manual, and I sort of just skip them all the time, but now I'm going to make sure I do every hard mode that I can possibly do every day to get those rewards. And that's pretty much it for the Soul Stones. They modified the Soul Stones given from quests. I think that meant like the rewards from these things, the hot dog and blades. I can't remember what they were before, so I'm not sure what that is. I'm tipping it's a nerf because it says modified. The next thing on the list is stat modification per natural grade. Okay, so this was a big controversy when the notes came out, and a lot of people were speculating. But what has happened is, I don't think it's been too bad. What they've done is they've modified stats depending on natural grade. So now that 1 stars will be weaker stat wise than 5 stars, which makes sense. Like I completely get why that's a thing, and that's fine with me. People were worried that it was going to make nat 1s and 2s useless. So when we look at here, my tough luck, so that's her stats now. Previously, her HP and defense were the same, but her attack was 2419. So she's lost about 200 attack, which yes hurts, but I don't think it's the end of the world. We can talk about tough luck and the other nerfs later that hurt her a lot, but it seems like a smallish stat drop. Obviously, she now will prefer flat stat attack when maxed out, as opposed to, wait, let's see when she's powered up. No, it's okay. When she's at +5, she will still prefer to have percentage attack. So that's fine there. But yeah, just if you've got things ruined and they've had a stat decrease, just check whether they still want percentage or flat if you're trying to optimize. But yeah, the stat hits weren't too bad. The nat 5s didn't get too much of an increase. I think my Astro Blast gained about 100 attack or something like that. What I have noticed though is from people sending screenshots is it seems like HP at lower levels is higher, but at max level it stays the same. So they've just evened out the distribution of when you get your extra HP, so that it seems that lower level units have more HP than they did before, but once they're maxed, it evens out to be the same. So that's that. That's with all the modifications to all that, and that's pretty much it for that one. Wishstone balancing. It seems like they just don't want you to summon as much. I don't know whether they want to entice more paying to summon, which is fine. Like, games have to make money, so I have no issues with them with that. Like, it's not the biggest hit on Wishstones. Like, you sort of get half the amount from everything you do, and like I had an overabundance. Like, I've already got everything, all the 2 stars and 1 stars that I need really. So basically, for other people, it might just take twice as long when they come in now. So I don't know the reason behind that balancing, but it is what it is. Wishstone's not a huge one, but we'll move on from that. Realm of Souls improvement. Now, this one's gonna be a bit controversial because it is an improvement in that you can only get 3 to 5 star Skylanders in the Realm of Souls now, which is awesome. I absolutely love that. The 1s and 2s, you just get them gradually through those Wishstone summons. You can farm them, so there's no real need. I kept getting Hot Dog Blades and Snapshot in here when I've already got the max, so I'm like 600 over the cap. Also, come to us. I'd love to see something to do with those excess shards. And yeah, so like it was pointless seeing them, but now you can only get 3 to 5 stars, which is awesome. However, the difficulty is a lot harder. Level 5 and 6 are really hard. I used to auto through the whole Realm of Souls. I had to actually do 3 revives today to get through level 6. So it is much harder, but definitely much more rewarding. Another thing you can see, I got Cinder there. I was building Cinder, very disappointed she's no longer farmable from the boss stages. But that's another little personal one there. But yeah, so Realm of Souls, I think it's a good change. The difficulty is a bit hard. Whether they adjusted that to make it harder because you're getting better value pieces from it, I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, and whether they do, whether it was a mistake making it that hard or whether that is intended. So that one's that. Battle improvement. They said there was going to be a new effect, Rejuvenate, for villains. I haven't actually seen that work, so I don't know how that works or what it's meant to be doing. But yeah, we haven't got onto that yet. The next one is that the event for summoning is extended. I don't buy summons because I use too much on energy, so that doesn't really affect me. And then the last one is skill balancing. So the skill balancing, I'm not going to go through everything. There's a lot of, it seems like they think buff and debuff durations were lasting too long, so they've reduced a lot of buff and debuff durations from skills. And then they've made a bunch of changes. Some of the nat 5s have got good changes. I'll just glance over the couple main ones that people are using now. So Tough Luck is the big one. So Tough Luck copped a massive nerf. So obviously the base stat reduced in the attack, and then the Diminish has been reduced to 3 turns. Now, later on in the notes, Diminish damage has been increased from 8% to 10% of attack power. So this may have been an attempt to balance out the damage, but it really hurts her in that it's really unreliable to get her heal. But then also now the heal is only a 50% chance to proc when they have debuffs, and it said the amount was reduced, but it still seems to heal a lot when it does heal. But I think what they saw was that Tough Luck was really, 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 really strong. And all the content she could solo as a natural 1-star, and I'm not saying natural 1-stars shouldn't have good kits. Like, this is still a really good kit. It's just that now you'll have to have a team with her. She won't be able to solo everything. I know a lot of people are saying that dungeons are harder now. I haven't actually got around to testing on my alt account. I'm actually testing it right now. It's running some B7. I only, about a day or two ago, started properly farming B7. And it's still farming it well. It's a bit slower, and I have to use a full team of Blades, Stealth Elf, and Tough Luck, as opposed to just the Tough Luck and Stealth Elf that I was before. So it's a little bit harder. I'll do more content on the dungeons and like B6, 7, 8 when I have some time. I might even have to make a new alt account. I don't know how I'll do it, but we'll do some testing. But she's still decent, but just not as overpowered as she was. And yeah, that's Tough Luck. The other one, Kaboom, he was one of the ones that a lot of people use. His Cannonball, it now only reduces attack for 1 turn instead of 2, which hurts in the prospect of moving forward to B10, which I don't think anyone is doing yet, but you know, it is what it is. And also his third skill only gains a 30% extra critical chance instead of 60. So that's not too bad. Obviously, he got hit by the attack nerf too, but once again, it wasn't the biggest attack nerf ever. Another one, Wham Shell, that a lot of people are using. Now, his first skill got a nerf. I don't think this is too bad. It's now just a 2-turn defense buff, and it's got a 24-second cooldown. I said it when I made my video about him. It was one of the most powerful or highly efficient skills in the game. It had a 4 reduction of endurance, 1 mana cost. It used to be 8-second cooldown and a 3-turn defense buff. You can still skill it up to be a 3-turn defense buff, and I feel like 3 turns on a 24-second cooldown is going to be plenty to keep almost 100% uptime of it. Without skills, it's going to fall off a bit, but you know, it is what it is. That skill was really strong, and I feel like it did need to be balanced, so that's fine there. I've probably missed some other ones. Ooh, the other one that I wanted to talk about, and hopefully come to us as listening, and they might even do us a favor and make her farmable, because when there's a lot of us trying to theory craft Beast 10 teams, and the problem is healers. All the good healers seem to be Earth and Life, where the boss is Wind. Now, Deja Vu got a massive buff in that her second skill holds up an hourglass to decrease the debuff count by 1 of all allies, which is awesome, and heals all allies in proportion to max HP. Before, this at max skill only had a 70% chance to cast the heal, but now that it's a guaranteed heal, and it has all these heal power increases, and it's a cleanse as well, she would be and the fact that she has elemental advantage against the Beast 10, she would be an amazing one to put into a scenario for us to farm. Like, that's a massive buff to her. And the other thing is, she also has a charge skill that has a 3-turn attack buff and puts Hourglass, which is like a HP memory thing on your highest attack unit. So it's great support. She has very low mana cost when you use those 2 skills, and she's very efficient. I feel like she would be an amazing unit to help free-to-play players progress. So if you're listening, come to us. Please put her in one of the scenarios. I even did the hard work and found the perfect spot for her. In the magic here, we can see that you've got Spyro on normal and hard. We can just easily slot her into the normal section here, and it's just all done. Everyone free to play is happy. But yeah, that's just an idea, because that was a big buff that I noticed in there. Another one that kind of hurt me is they fixed Gusto's first skill, and now he does only heal 10%. So I regret building Gusto now a little bit, but yeah, like I said, you can go through those notes. There's a lot of changes, to some of the Nat 5s and stuff, and yeah, you can check all those out. But okay, I won't go through all of them. But yeah, if you've got a Nat 5 and you want to see if it got a buff or whatever, a lot of the Nat 5s were getting buffs, not nerfs. So check it out. The other final notes on here were the things like diminish went from 8 to 10%. Like I said, poisons damage have gone from 5% to 7% of the enemy's current HP. Not the max HP, the current HP. So as the HP gets lower, it'll do less damage. That's how the poisons work. And the other big one, this is actually big because bombs were already really strong, and now they've decreased the count on bombs from 6 turns to 5 turns. So they're going to explode quicker. So that makes bombs even stronger than they already were, even though they were already really strong. And that's pretty much it. I think that's... yeah, additional game tips. Yeah, this is another one that intrigued me. So in like the very last tab of the notes, they have a thing that says explosion immunity and damage per endurance have been added to the collection filter. So I'm not sure what that means, whether there's going to be in the future like skills that give you explosion immunity or damage per endurance, but we'll have to wait and see. If anyone knows what that means, just leave it in the comments. And that's pretty much it. So all in all, I think it's a really good patch. I know a lot of people were worried about it. I know some people are struggling to farm the levels they were farming before, but it's just one of those things. Like I think that we're still trying to get to a balance before global launch that they're happy with. So it's just going to take some work. I will try and do some more free-to-play stuff, figure out how to, the new best ways to do the dungeons and all that sort of stuff. But all in all, besides that, and besides what appears to be a nerf to the drop rates in normal scenarios, because I thought they were low before, but now they got even lower. That hurts. But besides that, everything else I like. I like the Realm of Souls change. The fact that it's harder doesn't really bother me, probably because I can still clear it. But you're getting better Soul Stones, so it's good. The changes to the drops in the scenarios are amazing. Besides those couple of units that I can't farm anymore, but like all the new ones you can get and how efficient it is now to farm those boss stages is amazing. Like I can't wait for another month to have a decently powered up Freeze Blade rolling around in my team, because he's one of those Nat 4s that I thought they would never make farmable because he seemed really good, and now that he's farmable, I'm really happy about that. There's a lot of other good units in there, so yeah, all in all, good patch. But let me know your thoughts below and how you're going with the patch. But thanks for watching another video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.